Let's take a look at how you can use message filtering to allow lower privileged processes to send Windows messages to your process that may be running elevated or at a higher privilege. So taking a look at the demo app, basically what we'll have is we'll have a single button that says send the message and a text field, a text block that says I received the message at such and such a time. And so when the button is clicked, we're going to look for processes that are the same name as the exe that we're running, this message filtering exe, and we're just going to post a Windows message to it. Now that Windows message is a value that we get from the register window message call, which is basically our own custom Windows message. And in the window proc for the form, we are going to check to see if the messages are registered message, and if so, I'm going to change the label to update the timestamp to show that we did indeed get the message. So let's go ahead and run, and I'm going to run it from the shell so that I can more easily run it elevated. But I'm just going to run 2 copies of the program, and they're both running as standard user. So I can click send the message in this one, and you'll see I got the message over here. Now if I click send the message in this one, I got the message over here. And this works as expected because they're both running at the same privilege. But now, let's take a look at what happens if we run one of them as administrator. So we'll say yes. Now the one on the right is actually running elevated, and the one on the left is running as standard user still. So the elevated process can send a message over to the lower privilege process without a problem. But when I click send the message in the lower privileged process, nothing happens over in the higher privilege process, which is to be expected using the Windows 7 UI privilege isolation boundary. So let's go ahead and kill these. And now I'm going to uncomment this line, which is the call to change window message filter. And what that does is it just says, for this particular Windows message, I want to add it to the list of messages that are allowed. So let's go ahead and rebuild. And then we'll go back to our shell, and we'll launch one process as standard user, and we'll launch another process as the administrator. And then sending from the elevated process to the lower privileged process works just fine. Now sending from lower to higher also works. So it took a little bit longer because there's probably some checks going on under the hood, but it still works. The message filter allowed the message through.